Oh, hello there, my name is Arnold the Life Insurance Android. You may remember me from my starring role in the Start My Day robot, where I perform whole life, long-term care, disability and term insurance cancellations, so you don't have to. I've been reprogrammed today to take the mystery out of insurance premium guidelines. Let's take a bite out of some different scenarios to understand how premium guidelines work. In our first scenario, our client recently purchased a universal life insurance policy. The client wants to fund the policy at the absolute maximum allowed by current IRS regulations. Remember, premium guidelines and MEC limits do not always line up evenly. First, let's chart out the important parts of the policy. We need this to explain premium guideline rules. I'll draw a line to represent the guideline single premium, or GDLS, that's found on SS1. This is the cap or the maximum combined premium amount RiverSource allows the client to pay into the policy. Now, I'll add the MEC limit line. Notice the limit increases each policy year. Finally, let's add all the sum of the guideline level premiums paid into the policy. This is the GDLA, found on SS1. Okay, now we'll track the client's premium payments, 1 year at a time. If the client funds the policy all the way to the GDLS in the first policy year, the policy becomes a MEC. In year 2, the client has already funded the policy up to the GDLS, so they can't add any more premiums at this time. The same goes for policy years 3 through year 9. The client already funded the policy to the GDLS and still can't add any money to the product. Finally, in policy year 10, the GDLA has exceeded the GDLS. Now, the client can start adding money to the policy again. This is an opportunity to catch up, but the client can only add premiums that do not exceed the new GDLA. Going forward, the GDLN from CI2 is the new annual limit. I hope the next scenario doesn't scare you. You must have nerves of steel to talk about funding a policy up to the MEC limit. Our second client purchases a universal life policy, but because of his tax situation, he does not want it to become a MEC. The client will fully fund the policy each year without exceeding the MEC limit. Now, we'll track the client's premium payments, 1 year at a time. In the first policy year, the client is funding the policy with the maximum premium amount they can, without exceeding the MEC limit. The same thing happens in year 2 through year 4 of the policy. However, once the GDLS is reached, the client must stop funding the policy. In policy year 8, the client has passed the 7-year test period, so it's not possible to create a MEC. The client still can't add any premiums yet. Finally, in policy year 10, the GDLA exceeds the GDLS. The client can start adding money to the policy again. Going forward, the GDLN from CI2 is the new annual limit. Let's switch gears. In our third scenario, another client purchases a variable universal life policy. This client wants to fully fund their insurance, and they want a level maximum premium amount for the life of the policy. This allows the client to add premiums every year without stopping, because they won't reach the MEC limit or the GDLS. This is a strategy that allows the client to take advantage of fluctuating variable subaccounts and interest rates, similar to dollar cost averaging. They're also not interested in creating a MEC. Let's track the client's premiums, 1 year at a time. They are paying their premiums in a level way to match the GDLA and not exceeding that amount. The policy will not become a MEC and the client can continue adding premiums without interruption. Thank you for joining me today. I hope I took some of the mystery out of guideline premium amounts. Let your trainer know if you have any questions, and don't forget to ask. Hasta la vista.